Stop. I don't care what notification just exploded across your screen. I don't care that your boss is breathing down your neck about that deadline, or that your mother's been calling you 17 times today, or that your bank balance is making you nauseous. This message was scheduled to crash into your Sunday at exactly 3:33 p.m. for a reason that is going to make every hair on your body stand at attention. You just lost something. Not your car keys, not another sock in the laundry. Something that was supposed to change everything. Something that slipped through your fingers like water while you were drowning in the 17 other fires burning in your life. And right now, that hollow ache behind your ribs is whispering the question that has been eating you alive since it happened. Did I just miss my only shot at happiness? That crushing weight in your chest when you replay that moment on endless loop. That is not anxiety disorder. That is your soul recognizing a divine interruption disguised as devastation. I see you there sitting in your car in the parking lot, crying so hard your mascara is painting abstract art on your cheeks. The job interview where you stumbled over words that usually flow like poetry from your lips. The conversation where you said everything, except the one thing that mattered most. The door that slammed shut while you were still reaching for the handle with trembling fingers. The relationship that evaporated while you were busy proving you were worth keeping. You have been Google, searching how to get a second chance at 3:17 a.m., haven't you? Scrolling through LinkedIn posts about resilience while your self-worth bleeds out through your fingertips. That email notification that made your stomach drop last Tuesday. The one with the subject line, "Thank you for your interest," however. You have read it 47 times, dissecting every word for hidden meaning, for some crack of hope you might have missed. Your hands are shaking as you hold this device because something ancient is stirring in your spirit, something that recognizes the sound of heaven's voice cutting through the static of your shattered expectations like a sword through silk. But here is what your logical mind cannot comprehend, what your wounded heart refuses to believe. You didn't lose anything. You were rescued from something that would have been too small to contain the magnitude of what I am actually preparing for your life. That missed opportunity at the marketing firm downtown. The one where they made you wait in the lobby for 38 minutes before delivering their rejection with corporate smiles. I made them forget your qualifications on purpose, because the company I am building around your unique genius doesn't exist yet. But the foundation is being poured as you read these words, and the doors will open by Christmas with your name already on the office. The relationship that ghosted you after 3 months of perfect text chemistry. The one where you practiced your "I love you" speech in the bathroom mirror until you had it memorized. I deleted their interest because their heart wasn't big enough to hold the love story I am writing for you. The person I am sending can handle the intensity of how deeply you feel everything, how your emotions crash over people like healing tsunamis. You think you are reading this by accident. You think your finger just happened to pause the doom scrolling long enough for these words to catch your eye. But I have been engineering this moment since last March when you whispered, "I cannot take another disappointment into your pillow at 2:33 a.m. while the world slept around your breaking heart." Your throat is closing up right now because your spirit recognizes the voice that has been calling your name through every setback, every rejection, every moment when giving up felt more appealing than getting up. That tightness in your chest isn't panic, it is recognition. Your soul knows who is speaking, and it has been waiting for this conversation. I watched you delete that text you spent 47 minutes crafting, the one that would have saved the friendship that has been suffocating under the weight of unspoken truth. I guided your finger to the delete button because what you were about to send would have settled for survival when I am orchestrating resurrection. That business idea you have been nurturing in secret, the one you murdered in your notes app last Sunday, because someone's probably already doing it better. I let you delete it because the version you had wasn't big enough for what is coming. The one I am downloading into your dreams next Wednesday will change entire industries and make your previous vision look like a rough sketch of the Mona Lisa. You have been measuring your life by the fragments of single moments, haven't you? Defining your worth by the thing that didn't work out, the door that didn't open, the answer that never came. But you are staring at one thread in a tapestry I have been weaving since before you took your first breath. And every thread, even the dark ones, serves the beauty of the whole. That pain in your stomach that twists every time you think about what could have been. That is not regret poisoning your bloodstream. That is your spirit recognizing that what you thought was the end was actually the setup for something so much bigger that your current understanding would shatter trying to contain it. The promotion they gave to your colleague instead of you. The one who started 6 months after you but somehow leapfrogged past your dedication with political maneuvering. I orchestrated that rejection because the position I am creating for you doesn't have a ceiling. What they offered you was a beautifully decorated cage. What I am building is a kingdom with your name on the throne. Your bank account that has been bleeding out slowly since January. The one that makes you check your balance 3 times before buying coffee. That wakes you up at 4 a.m. with cold sweats about rent. I have been allowing that financial squeeze because abundance learned in desperation becomes unshakable gratitude. The money that is coming will find hands that remember what it means to count every dollar. That hollow feeling behind your ribs that food cannot fill and sleep cannot touch. The one that makes you feel like you are starving even when you are full. That is not depression carving out your insides. That is space I have been creating for something your current life couldn't accommodate. You have been trying to fill God-sized emptiness with human-sized solutions, and your spirit is rejecting everything that is too small for your destiny. But here is where the story takes a turn that is going to make your logical mind revolt and your spirit leap. I need to tell you about 2 people who are moving toward your circle right now, not physically walking to your front door, but positioning themselves in your life like chess pieces on an invisible board. Your wounded heart sees them as answers to prayers. Your logical mind sees them as opportunities, connections, maybe even lifelines. But your spirit has been sending you warning signals you have been too desperate to decode. That knot in your stomach when their names pop up on your phone. That is not social anxiety from your childhood trauma. That is your inner alarm system screaming at frequencies your conscious mind isn't tuned to hear. Because here is what I need you to understand. Not everyone who smiles at you in your valley is there to help you climb out. Not everyone who offers their hand when you are drowning comes with life preservers. Some come with anchors beautifully disguised as rescue equipment. You have been so starved for connection, so desperate for someone to finally get the vision you carry, that you have been ready to hand your keys to anyone who knows the right spiritual words to say. But I am about to show you what those 2 people have been discussing about you in private group chats, in coffee shops where they thought no one was listening, in phone calls that started with "I think we can use this situation to our advantage." Your chest is tightening because your spirit recognizes the sound of truth cutting through the fog of wishful thinking like lightning through storm clouds. The first one, the one who has been sliding into your DMs with business opportunities that sound too good to be true, that promise to solve all your financial stress with minimal effort. They have been studying your social media for 3 months, taking screenshots of your vulnerabilities, mapping out your pain points like a hunter tracking wounded prey. They know exactly what you need to hear because they have been listening to what you cry about at 2 a.m. through your close friends' stories. That random coffee invitation that came 2 days after you posted about feeling isolated. That wasn't divine timing. That "I was just thinking about you" text that arrived exactly when you were questioning your worth. That wasn't Holy Spirit inspiration. That business proposal they are about to present isn't an opportunity. It is a carefully crafted trap designed to exploit the financial pressure you have been too proud to admit, but too desperate to hide. The second one, the one who suddenly wants to be your spiritual mentor after years of radio silence, who conveniently reappeared right when your social media started showing signs of breakthrough. They have been watching your glow, up from the shadows, calculating exactly when to re-enter your orbit. They are not drawn to your light because they want to celebrate it. They want to attach themselves to it like spiritual parasites feeding off energy they haven't earned through their own wilderness seasons. They have been in meetings you don't know about, literally sitting in Starbucks at 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday mornings, planning how to position themselves in your breakthrough season, how to make themselves indispensable to your next level, how to be standing close enough to your success to claim they helped create it, close enough to your platform to benefit from it, close enough to your network to exploit it. Your hands are shaking because that sick feeling you have been pushing down just got validation. That intuition you have been calling paranoia and trust issues just got confirmed as divine radar functioning exactly as designed. I have been trying to warn you through dreams where you are running from faces you cannot quite remember when you wake up in cold sweats. Through that anxious pit in your stomach every time they text, the one that feels like swallowing broken glass. Through the way your energy drains after every conversation with them, leaving you exhausted in ways you cannot explain to friends who think you are being overdramatic. But you have been explaining it away, haven't you? Telling yourself you are just being negative because someone told you that anxiety is a sin. Forcing yourself to give them the benefit of the doubt because good Christians don't judge people, and you have been raised to be good above all else. Silencing your spirit is alarm bells because you don't want to seem unloving or bitter or damaged from your past. That exhaustion after talking to them isn't you being antisocial or emotionally unstable. That is your soul being bled dry by people who take but never give, who drain but never pour, who study your every word but never serve your actual needs. Remember that conversation last Sunday where they asked you 17 questions about your finances, your relationships, your fears, your dreams, your family dynamics, your past trauma, but shared nothing real about themselves. That wasn't curiosity about your well-being. That was data collection. You felt naked and exposed afterward because you were. They were mining your vulnerabilities for ammunition they planned to use later when you are not useful anymore. The way they subtly criticized your current circle? I just don't think those people really understand your vision like I do. They seem kind of small-minded, don't they? That wasn't loving observation. That was isolation tactics 101. They are trying to position themselves as your only real support system so you become dependent on their validation and desperate for their approval. That business opportunity they keep dangling in front of you. The one that requires you to invest money you don't have in dreams that sound exactly like yours but with their name attached. I allowed them to reveal their hand early so you could see the strings attached to their generosity, the hooks hidden in their help. Your spirit has been screaming warnings through physical symptoms you have been ignoring because you have been taught that spiritual people don't have bodies. The headaches that start when their names appear on your phone. The way your jaw clenches during conversations with them like you are preparing for impact. The insomnia that follows their encouraging visits. The way you cannot settle into peace for hours after they leave your space. Your body is trying to protect what your heart is too kind to guard, what your mind is too hopeful to suspect. That uneasiness you feel around them isn't social anxiety from your childhood church trauma. It is spiritual discernment. It is your soul recognizing the difference between people who come to serve your purpose and people who come to serve themselves through your purpose. But here is what I need you to understand, and this is where everything I have been teaching you comes together like a symphony reaching crescendo. Every loss I have allowed, every door I have closed, every opportunity I have redirected has been to prepare you for this moment when you learn to trust the voice in your spirit over the voices in your head. This moment when you choose wisdom over wishful thinking. This moment when you realize that protection sometimes looks like disappointment. That job you didn't get, it would have put you in proximity to people who would have exploited your talents without crediting your contributions. That relationship that ended, it would have dimmed your light until you forgot you were capable of illuminating entire rooms. That apartment you couldn't afford, it would have kept you comfortable when I needed you hungry for more. Every no has been a not yet or a something better. Every closed door has been a redirect toward your actual destination. Every delay has been divine timing, not divine abandonment. I am not telling you to become paranoid or to shut down your heart like a condemned building. I am teaching you the difference between an open heart and an unguarded door. Love must flow through you like a river, but wisdom must guide its direction like riverbanks guide water. These two people approaching you aren't evil incarnate. They are broken people using broken methods to try to fix their broken situations. They see your light and they want to benefit from it without doing the work to generate their own. They are spiritually immature, emotionally manipulative, and strategically positioned to cost you months of progress if you let them through your gates. The first one needs your money to solve their debt crisis that they created through poor decisions. They are not ready to own. They are going to disguise this need as a business partnership or an investment opportunity or a faith venture that God allegedly told them to present to you specifically. They have calculated exactly how much they think you can afford to lose before you had fight back. They are planning to take that amount plus 30% more, knowing you will absorb the loss rather than create conflict. The second one needs your platform to rebuild their reputation after burning bridges in their last community through behavior. They blame on spiritual warfare and jealous people. They are planning to use your credibility as social collateral, dropping your name in conversations to make themselves seem more connected, more influential, more trustworthy than they actually are. They are coming now because they can sense you are about to break through to a new level. Predators always circle when wounded animals are about to heal. They want to be positioned in your circle when the blessing hits so they can claim they were part of the process, so they can ride your coattails to heights they haven't earned. But here is what they don't know, what they cannot calculate in their schemes. I have already gone ahead of them and exposed their plan to you. They think they are moving in secret, but I see every text they send to each other planning their approach. I hear every strategy session where they rehearse their manipulation tactics. I know every lie they have prepared to explain away your intuition. They are about to walk into conversations thinking they have the upper hand, not knowing that you already see their cards. They are planning to catch you vulnerable and unaware, not knowing that I have already armed you with supernatural discernment that cuts through deception like a sword through paper. When they start the conversation with excessive flattery about how special and different and anointed you are, remember this moment. When they begin sharing just enough of their own struggles to make you feel trusted and important, remember this warning. When they pivot to the opportunity they have been praying about specifically for you, remember that I am the God who sees hearts, and their hearts aren't clean. Your kindness is not weakness, but your kindness without wisdom is dangerous territory. You can love people from a distance. You can pray for people without partnering with them. You can wish them well without welcoming them into your inner circle where they can do damage. The boundary you are about to set isn't mean, it is mature. The distance you are about to create isn't cold, it is wisdom. The protection you are about to implement isn't fear, it is faith in my ability to guide your steps away from snares. Don't explain yourself to them when you pull back. Don't justify your new boundaries with PowerPoint presentations about why you are being cautious. Don't try to prove your reasons with evidence they will only use against you later. Simply create space and let their response to that space reveal who they really are. Watch how quickly their love turns to manipulation when you are no longer easily accessible. Watch how their concern becomes criticism when you stop feeding their ego with attention. Watch how their friendship becomes hostility when you stop being useful to their agenda. Your real friends, the ones I sent to walk this journey with you, will respect your boundaries without demanding explanations. They will trust your discernment without taking it personally. They will love you enough to give you space to grow without trying to control how that growth looks. This season I am raising you to be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. I am teaching you to discern not just what people say, but why they are saying it. Not just what they offer, but what they are hoping to gain. Not just who they present themselves to be, but who they actually are when the spotlight dims and the cameras stop rolling. The people I am sending to support your next level don't need to campaign for position in your life. They don't need to convince you of their value with elaborate presentations. They don't need to isolate you from others to make themselves seem essential. They simply show up consistently, serve without agenda, and add value without keeping score. Your discernment is about to become one of your greatest superpowers. The ability to see beyond the surface, to test every spirit, to distinguish between helpers and predators, to recognize the difference between those who come to serve and those who come to be served. In the next 48 hours, watch their moves like you are studying a masterclass in human behavior. Notice how they respond when you take longer to reply to their messages. See how they react when you are not immediately available for their urgent conversations. Observe whether they respect your time or demand it as if it belongs to them. Pay attention to how they talk about other people in your life. Do they celebrate your existing relationships or subtly undermine them with poison disguised as concern? Do they encourage your connections or create reasons why those connections are toxic or holding you back? Listen to whether they are genuinely interested in your growth or just interested in growing their access to you. Notice if they ask about your well-being or only your availability. See if they celebrate your wins or find ways to make your victories about them. But here is the most beautiful part of this entire orchestration. Everything you thought you lost was actually preparation for this moment. Every disappointment was teaching you to trust my voice over human voices. Every rejection was training you to value divine approval over human applause. Every closed door was strengthening your ability to wait for the doors I open with my own hands. The spirit of discernment I am downloading into you right now will serve you for the rest of your life. You will never again wonder if that uncomfortable feeling means something. You will never again ignore the warning signals your soul sends when danger approaches disguised as opportunity. Your circle is about to become smaller but infinitely stronger. Your boundaries are about to become clearer but infinitely kinder. Your discernment is about to become sharper but infinitely more compassionate. This isn't about becoming suspicious of everyone who breathes in your direction. It is about becoming selective with your energy. It is about learning that love doesn't mean access, and trust must be earned, not assumed. It is about understanding that your peace is sacred and your purpose is precious, and both deserve protection. Every missed opportunity was protection from paths that would have led you away from your destiny. Every failed relationship was prevention from connections that would have contaminated your calling. Every closed door was redirection toward the door with your name engraved on it. The job you didn't get last month, the company is about to face a lawsuit that would have destroyed your reputation if you had been associated with it. The relationship that ended painfully, they are about to reveal character flaws that would have broken your spirit if you had invested more time. The loan you were denied, you are about to receive an opportunity that makes borrowing unnecessary. Your restoration isn't just getting back what you lost. It is getting what you were always meant to have, in the timing that serves your highest good, with the wisdom to protect and steward it properly. In the next 72 hours, watch for the signs of genuine blessing breaking through. The phone call that comes from a number you don't recognize, but a voice that feels like home. The email that lands in your inbox with the subject line that makes your heart race with holy anticipation. The conversation that starts with "I have been thinking about you" and ends with doors opening that you didn't even know existed. The person who hurt you, their heart is softening right now as I work on them in ways you cannot see. The child who will not return your calls, they are about to reach out because I am stirring their spirit. The money you need for that dream, it is traveling through channels you haven't imagined, being released from sources you haven't considered. The healing you have prayed for, it has already begun at the cellular level while you have been reading these words. Your vision is getting clearer because the scales of disappointment are falling from your eyes. Your hearing is sharpening because the frequency of hope is drowning out the static of fear. Your steps are getting steadier because you are remembering how to walk on water. This isn't motivation. This isn't positive thinking wrapped in spiritual language. This is prophetic declaration over a life that is about to shift from survival mode to supernatural mode. If something ancient just stirred in your chest while reading this, if your eyes are wet with tears you didn't know were coming, if your hands are shaking with the recognition that this message found you exactly when you needed it, if your spirit is burning with the fire of truth being spoken over your situation, then you are ready for what is next. Comment below, "I receive divine restoration and discernment." Share this with someone who is drowning in disappointment and confusion about people in their life. Like this, if you are ready to stop mourning what was lost and start celebrating what is coming, while protecting what is being built. Subscribe, because what I am downloading next week builds on the breakthrough that is already beginning in your spirit right now. The combination of restoration and discernment is about to make you unstoppable. Your missed opportunities just became your miracle in progress. Your failed relationships just became your protection protocol. Your closed doors just became your divine redirection. Watch me work. I am just getting started.